All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Nick, and we are in a hotel room, a little bit of a different environment in beautiful Los Angeles, California. I'm actually in town for the week covering E3, and I just got back from the Bethesda press conference that was held in downtown Los Angeles at the Dolby Theater, right on the Hollywood walkway. So that was kind of a nice sight to see. I've never actually been on the walkway before. It's kind of where they have all the stars on the cement and all that kind of good stuff. Saw some really cool ones, such as this very sad one that will pop up on your screen right now, and some really funny ones. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, I was there for the Bethesda press conference, like I said, and this was actually the very first press conference that I have ever attended live, and it was completely worth it. The entire experience was awesome. The energy of the crowd and the excitement of all the people. There was a mix of media people. The media people came in first, and then if you came in early, there was actually a line for people who just kind of literally off the street if you want, but weren't really off the street because those people were probably lined up at the wee hours of the morning just to try to secure their spot. But luckily, it was a very well-ran event. I got my seat pretty quickly and got some swag along the way, but I thought I would share you guys my experience of the conference and what I thought of my general impressions of what they unveiled, and as well just in general give the conference a review. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. All right, so Bethesda started off their press conference by unveiling the new Doom. No subtitle, no number, just straight Doom across the map, and the crowd went crazy. And the presenter wanted to stress three things that they wanted to talk about when developing this game. They wanted to emphasize that Doom has always been about, first off, blood and gore, lots of blood and gore, big effing guns, and as well as quick-paced, action-packed gameplay. And I thought the first level that they shown hit on two of those parts. It hit on obviously the guts and gore, and it also hit on the gameplay with the guns. The guns, even though the guns are kind of just the standard guns, I'm sure that eventually as you progress through the game, you unlock better guns. You mostly just saw like shotgun gameplay, which was fine, and obviously the chainsaw. The chainsaw was also very memorable. But in terms of the whole fast-paced thing on just that first level that they shown, it was actually not that fast-paced if you rewatch it again. And even though the game looked gorgeous, the backgrounds and the sound, in terms of production quality, the game's off the charts. But the game actually did not run that well. I don't know how that translated to you guys if you guys watched it online through live stream, but at certain parts of the gameplay, the game actually struggled a bit, and it almost seemed like the game was running at about like 25 frames per second. So if you're talking about like a game that's supposed to be a fast-paced, action-packed shooter, you got to be hitting that 60 FPS just to keep everything kind of like moving along. This probably will be fixed a little bit along the development of the game, and just basically the more time they can put into the engine, the faster pace it can get. But as I'm watching, it's kind of like, this is kind of slow paced right now. The enemies are kind of like walking towards you, basically like zombies, one by one. And so it wasn't really nothing very threatening. But they kind of fixed that a little bit later on, which I'll touch on. Then they moved into the multiplayer of the game, which actually cranked up the speed a lot. Then it started moving, I could tell, like now we're moving at a fast pace, 60 frames per second, quick gameplay. So I was kind of like, okay, this is what they were talking about and what they were trying to achieve. And the gameplay looked cool. You have different types of gameplays, and I assume that it's going to be fully customizable because they're actually adding a custom map feature, kind of like the Forge in Halo, or you can make your own maps, your own game types, all that kind of stuff. They call it Snap Map. It looked very well, it ran very well. It looked very easy to use and intuitive. So overall, I thought that really worked well in presenting the game and the different aspects of it. But then they went back again to the campaign mode of the game and showing off some of the stuff from Hell. The level was placed in Hell, I think. And then the gameplay everything came together. The gameplay became less focused on the rail, move to point A to point B, have one by one these demons coming at you, you shoot them, you progress on. In the Hell level, there's a lot more verticality. You can move backwards, you can move forwards. Enemies were coming at you in different ways. They weren't just kind of like I said earlier, they weren't zombie walking towards you anymore. They were acting in different ways, and it just seemed to be more, let's just say, more natural, their movement patterns. And then I was like, okay, this game combined with this gameplay, combined with the background, the sound, still at some points it chugged a little bit in terms of how fast the game ran, but it was actually a lot better than the first part of the demo. Maybe the first stage is a little bit later in development, but the hell level, everything just came together, like I said. So it made me, it made me feel better about the game and where I think it's trying to get to and where it's gonna go. So overall, very impressed of what Doom had to offer in terms of the gameplay it had on stage. Excited about the multiplayer as well as all the customizable features on SnapMap. All right, so then moving on, the next part of the conference, to no one's surprise, was the unveiling of Dishonored 2, and its existence was actually leaked a couple of days ago on the internet. E3 is just all about leaks and containing them, or just trying to limit the amount that a publisher can hold from the public and all that kind of stuff, but in general, just leaks happen. And the existence of Dishonored 2 was made known to the public a couple days ago. And they showed a pretty solid CGI trailer, no new gameplay. The CGI trailer was done well, but it's not in-game gameplay, so I really can't give it an impression other than my impressions of what the CGI trailer presented. It showed that you can play as either a guy or a girl, and I think that's come to standard these days. To be able to play as either sex is something that a lot of people like to have in the gameplay and have them customize their character to that. And the gameplay, the CGI trailer, like I said, was well done, but there was actually no release date for the game itself. I'm assuming it'll probably be in sometime 2016, and I look forward to it. I enjoyed the original Dishonored. I did a walkthrough of it on the channel. You guys seem to enjoy it a bit, so looking forward to Dishonored 2. And as well, they announced that in typical gaming fashion, there will be a definitive edition of the original Dishonored coming to the next generation of consoles as well as PC. So if you didn't get a chance to play it, the original, you might want to hold off because, like I said, they are releasing a definitive edition with upgraded graphics for you guys a little bit later. And then kind of hit a lull in the press conference by talking a little bit of the Elder Scrolls Online. And as soon as it was kind of sad. I didn't want to make a point of this on Twitter. I was like, as soon as that banner came up, Elder Scrolls Online, the mood of the crowd just dropped, and it was like, okay, time to take a break now. Let's shut off our minds here. But the Elder Scrolls Online, it just came out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I played a little bit of on PC. It was just, in terms of gameplay, it was okay. There was just really no memorable moments, and yeah. It is what it is. But then they got into what everyone came for, and that was gameplay and more information about Fallout 4. So Todd Howard came on stage. I love Todd Howard. He's such a legend. He is an amazing presenter, and obviously he makes amazing games as well. He kind of led the journey through the entire Fallout 4 presentation section, and started off with the intro of the game, how the game starts. And unlike other Fallout games where you're thrown right into the wasteland, this one actually starts off to show you what life was like before the nukes hit. The character customization, once again, you can play as either a guy or a girl, and how the leveling up system starts, how you put your points into the different characteristics of your character. And then they moved on to the apocalypse and all that kind of stuff and all that jazz. General gameplay. The game looked well, ran well on stage. We all know that Fallout 4 isn't going to really push any technological boundaries, but it just ran well. It ran at a solid frame rate, looked good on stage on this huge gigantic screen. So I'm assuming on a smaller screen inside your home, it will play even better. Showed us some of the updated gameplay, showed us the dog meat is important, but they unveiled some new features as well, such as the customizable weapons, which is a nice thing. I don't know how I feel about customizable weapons, to be honest with you. I'm not a huge fan of over customization. I kind of just like finding a single weapon or maybe a couple extra parts and tinkering around, but I don't want to spend too much time customizing a weapon. But if you are one of those people, this is for you. As well, they added a customizable feature for the map. So your character can kind of take place of a certain area in the world and basically build his own city or village. You can make sure you build it to defend it from raiders that may attack your area. And I think that's why the game doesn't look as good as it possibly could, because of all these customizable features. Once you start adding customization to a game, the graphics kind of have to take a little bit of a downgrade. So that's probably why Fallout 4 wasn't running. Isn't basically it's not Uncharted 4, just in terms of graphics. But we actually got a release date for the game as well. The game is releasing on November 11th, 2015, which is actually the exact same date as, well, not the exact date, but that was the exact date of the release of Skyrim. So I think Bethesda likes their November 11th release date, which is, yeah, it's cool. Pretty soon this year, so you don't really have to wait that long for it. It's not like they're showing all this stuff and like, psych, you gotta wait till next year. It's coming out this year, so that's gonna be really fun. And they actually did something that was really cool at the end of the conference. They announced a new mobile game called Fallout Shelter. And what was cool is that right after the conference, it became immediately available. And I think every publisher should do this once in a while. They should do a press conference, and if the game has remained a secret up until then, they just say, it's out now, just go buy it. Go buy it now. Imagine like if Valve did a press conference and at the end of the press conference they say, oh, by the way, Half-Life 3 is available right now on Steam. The freaking internet would just, internet would explode. But this game, it's a free-to-play game. Right now, it's only available on iOS, so either Apple-based iPhones or iPads. Not currently available on Android quite yet. It does have a microtransaction system, but it's not the typical mobile one where you pay just to play faster or reduce your waiting time. You pay for packs basically, and you open the packs to get items for your characters. It's kind of, you're running a vault. Each character within the vault has their own little room. It actually kind of reminds me of the game, if you guys played it, it's called A War Mine, that came out earlier this year. It kind of had that feel to it. It looked pretty cool. And yeah, if you guys want to check it out and play it, it's available now. All right, so closing thoughts of the press conference. Like I said earlier, this was my very first press conference live, so I'm a press conference newbie. But I have to say, Bethesda did a pretty good job with this one. They hit on everything they wanted to hit, and the reason why people were there, their hunger for Fallout 4 as well as Doom was quenched. Although there was that little bit of a lull period with ESO, it picked right back up with Fallout 4, and everything was just done really well. We got some swag. Got some swag right here. This is some Bethesda-based vinyl figures that was given to everyone in the audience. You actually had to exchange. At the very beginning, each chair had like a vinyl LED watch. You had to trade in your watch for the vinyl figures. It has one from Doom, Fallout, as well as Dishonored. I tried to like weasel my way and try to keep the watch and get the figures, but that wasn't. They're like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I was like, oh, sadness. But anyways, swag's always nice, and I just think that they did a good job of making their fans happy. Fallout 4, people came for that. They got a ton of information about Fallout 4. Even though Doom didn't run at points as well as I thought it should for on-stage presentation, what they showed was great. Multiplayer, customization, all that kind of stuff, and announcing a game that was immediately available, it's never a bad thing. So overall, I give their press conference at 8.5, which sets the bar pretty high for press conferences thus far, since they are the first one for E3. But anyways, that is my review of Bethesda's press conference for E3 2015. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys thought of the conference, what you guys thought, my thoughts, if you thought that was onside or completely offside. We'll have a little conversation in the comment box below. And if you guys want me to do this for the rest of the conferences happening at E3, let me know as well. And if with enough support, we'll definitely do them for Microsoft, Sony, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys will enjoy all the future E3 content coming up in the next couple of days. And other than that, I shall see you guys next time, right? As always, have a fantastic day.